It must be confessed that in this, as in most cases, there is a means on both sides of which inconvenience will be found to lie. By enlarging too much the number of electors, you render the representatives too little acquainted with all their local circumstances and lesser interests, as by reducing it to too much you render him unduly attached to these and too little fit to comprehend and pursue great and national objects. The federal constitution forms a happy combination in respects to the great and aggregate interests being referred to the national and the local, and particularly to the state legislatures. The other point of difference is the greater number of citizens and extent or territories which may be brought within the compass of republican and of democratic government. And it is the circumstance principally which renders faction combinations less to be dreaded in the former than in the latter. So what he means is that it's worse, the factions are worse under a democracy than they are in a republic. The smaller the society, the fewer probably will be the distinct parties and interests composing it. The more frequently will be the majority found of the same party, and the smaller the number of individuals composing the majority, and in the smaller the compass within which they are placed, the more easily will they concert and execute their plans of oppression. Extend the sphere, and you take in a greater variety of parties and interests. You make it less probable that a majority of the whole will have a common motive to invade the rights of other citizens, or such common motive exists. If such a common motive exists, it will be more difficult for all who feel it to discover their own strength and to act in unison with each other. Besides other implements, it may be remarked that where there is a conscience or unjust, dishonorable purpose, communication is always checked by distrust in proportion to the number whose concurrence is necessary. Hence it clearly appears that the same advantage which a republic has over a democracy in controlling the effects of faction is enjoyed by a large over a small republic, is enjoyed by the Union over the states composing it. Does the advantage? So he asks a question. It will not be denied that the representation of the Union will be most likely to possess greater variety of parties against the events of any party being able to outnumber and oppress the rest. In an equal degree, does the increased variety of parties comprised within the Union increase this security? Does it, in fine, consist in the greater obstacle opposed to the concert and accomplished of the secret wishes of an unjust and interested majority? Here again, the extent of the Union gives the most palpable advantage. The influence of factious leaders may kindle a flame within their particular state, but will be unable to spread a general conflagration through the other states. A religious sect may disintegrate into a political faction in a part of the Confederacy, but the variety of the sects dispersed over the entire face of it must secure the national councils against the dangers from that source. A rage for paper money, for an abolition of debts, for an equal division of property, or any other improper or wicked project will be less apt to pervade the whole body of the Union than a particular member of it, in the same proportion as a malady is more likely to taint a particular county or a district than an entire state. In the extent and proper structure of the Union, therefore, we behold a Republican remedy for the diseases most incident to the Republican government, and according to the degree of pleasure and pride we feel in being the Republicans, ought to be our zeal in cherishing the spirit and supporting the character of the Federalists. The end. We are a Republican government with a constitution, no representation. We are not a democratic representative republic. We are a constitutional representative republic. That is the end. Until next time, we will do Hamilton's version of factions.